Hey loves, it's Vlogmas Day 8, and we're keeping it sweet, cozy, and very on brand. Football, cookies, and clarity. Today, we're talking about choosing your niche when your passions don't fit in one box. Spoiler, you don't have to.
Hello. Welcome back to the Deanda Factor. It is Vlogmas Day 8, and OMG, we're going to get quick and cozy today. We have Monday Night Football, the Chargers versus my Eagles. I'm representing y'all. And we're also going to review two new chocolate sugar cookie recipes that I found. Really excited about that. Want to share that with you all. You know, I like to bake, and especially this time of year. So I'm excited about that. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to tackle a question. And that question is, how do I choose a niche when I'm passionate about hundreds of things? Make that millions of things, actually. I mean, I love myself some football. I love baking. And, there's fashion, there's books. I mean, you name it. I can get into so many things. And I'm not alone. So we're going to tackle that. We're going to get into how do you choose your niche when you are into so many different things. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can be multi-passionate about tons of different things. Like I just said, I love baking. I love myself some footballs, the Eagles. Go Birds. I love career coaching, branding, marketing. I love traveling, lifestyle content, community building. All of those things speak and scream Deanda. But when you have a lot of gifts, people tell you to pick one. But that advice feels like choosing your favorite child, which, if you have, more than one child, that's hard to do, right? So how do you do that with your niche? So let's see. There are, okay. So for me, like I said, I've named maybe 4 or 5 things already that I'm really into and really passionate about. And for me, picking just one is really, or has been really hard, particularly for this channel or for other content-based avenues that I've chosen to go into. How do I narrow it down? How do I bring it into honing into that one thing, or maybe that, combination of things that can live together? For example, traveling, lifestyle, and accountability partnerships and community, right? How do I marry those things? How do I marry those passions? And I'm sure you can agree with me and relate to a similar type of being in that type of situation. If you've ever felt like your passions don't fit neatly into one box, this episode is the one for you. So let's first dive into what actually is a niche. And that's something that a lot of people really don't get down, right? So let's dive into that. Your niche is not your personality. Your niche is not all your interests. Your niche is not your whole identity, right? So that's what your niche is not. What your niche is your niche is the value you provide. Your niche is the transformation you create. Your niche is that problem you solve for that person, right? Your niche is the anchor of your content, not the whole house, okay? Does that make sense? For example, baking equals personality, flavor, lifestyle. Football equals personality, vibe, relatability. Okay. Branding and career coaching equals a value. Let's start. Okay. So if you think about it, you can't put all of these things in one box. And okay. All right. If you ever felt like your passions don't fit neatly into one box, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Let's first define what is a niche, or more easily told, what is not a niche. So I'll break it down for you. Your niche is not your personality. Your niche is not all your interests. Your niche is not your whole identity. Okay? However, your niche is the value you provide. Your niche is the transformation that you create. Your niche is a specific problem you solve for a specific person. The anchor of your content, not the whole house, if that makes sense. So let me give you a couple of examples. Baking equals personality, flavor, lifestyle. Football equals personality, vibes, relatability. Branding and career coaching, that equals a niche. Your niche is the thing people can hire you for. Your passions are what make your content memorable. Does that make sense? Are you getting it? Are you getting the flavor there? Oh my goodness, this is a good game. Oh my God, I want my Eagles to win. Okay, so being multi-passionate, that's not something that, we all basically have more than one thing. We're not one note, so it's understandable that you have passions for more than one thing. So having multi Okay. Now, just a slight sidebar regarding the sugar cookies. The first batch of cookies, or the first recipe that I am making, they're called the Very Best Chocolate Cookies. And I really liked the recipe because it it called for espresso powder, cocoa powder, and espresso powder, making the chocolate a little bit more pronounced and a little bit bolder. So I'm anxious to taste how that will make the cookies a little bit different. In addition to that, you use brown sugar, 3.5 cups of brown sugar versus white sugar. So again, you're getting more of that molasses taste. And it's not going to be overly sweet, if you will. I have to give you a slightly, a small little story here. So when I was in Vietnam, which I spoke about a couple of days ago in a VLOGMAS, in Da Nang to be exact, there was a bakery there that made these small little chocolate cookies. And they were so good that I am trying to find them here in the States, being back in the States. And I haven't been able to. So as someone who loves to bake, why not try to bake it yourself, right? So these little cookies, they weren't, crazy sweet. They were small or whatever. And they were, just sugar cookies, really. They were crispy. They weren't, too soft or whatever. So I don't know if the very best cookie will be that chocolate cookie will be that cookie, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to find out, especially around the holidays. Why not? We want to, bake or whatever. So I'm anxious to find this out. And I'm interested in this recipe in particular, just because it doesn't call for so much sugar. Yes, that's a lot of brown sugar, but brown sugar isn't as sweet as white sugar, castor sugar, if you will. So again, I'm really anxious to taste these. So, we're going to get into it, and I'll, put the recipe for the very best chocolate cookies in the description, as well as a picture. I'll put a picture up too in just a moment. So we'll have that. But, I want to make sure that you understand that baking is actually a passion. I like to cook, period, but baking is really, my sweet spot. And that's just because for me, baking, there's a little bit of science in there, and you have to be for baking, you have to be more exact. Whereas in cooking, you can be a little spontaneous. And, if the recipe calls for, a half a cup of something, half a cup of tomatoes, and you put in a whole cup of tomatoes, it probably won't make the chili taste, bad, right? Versus in baking, if you do some mixing and matching, you have to find the balance. There has to be a balance there, because for cookies, for example, you have to have a certain amount of flour, have to have a certain amount of sugar to balance it out. So if you're going to, take something away, you have to add something to replace it, right? So there's a science to it. And I kind of like that. I like, doing that. At any rate, let's get back to finding your niche, the framework of how multi-passionate people find their niche. So here's kind of a 3-part model that you can try to hone in on what would be your niche based on the number of passions that you have. So here's one. Choose the value niche, what people come to you for. So you can choose the thing that, what are people coming to you for? What are your friends and family, colleagues? What are people referring, people to you for? Is it career pivots, branding, marketing for multi-passionate women, lifestyle empowerment for Black women, sweet spot living? Is that the value that you're providing? And if that's what people are coming to you for, that's something to consider as being your niche. Let your passion shape your vibe. They add texture. They make your brand warm, human, full. They attract your people, right? So your passions are what shape the reason why people are knocking at your door. For example, a few examples actually. I'm a football girly. I mean, okay, this is a really good game, and I'm really rooting for my team. Sundays are full of football for me, so that's where it is. People who know me know that I am, from the first game to the last game. So that's at least 3 games, on a Sunday. Then there's Monday night football, there's Thursday night football. I mean, I don't get too involved in college football until maybe playoff season, just to peek in, because I like watching the draft. So I peek in a little bit just to see, okay, what's the name that they're talking about? What's the school that they're, focusing on? What, quarterbacks and all the things, right? So particularly if, my team is going to be in the top, draft picks or whatever. So yeah, I want to, at least know what they're talking about. Another thing, another example is cozy homemaking moments. Like I said, I like cooking. I like baking. I like decorating my space. So, when you have examples of that, if that's part of your content. Travel gems. I mean, you already know I love traveling. So I'm always going to make that a part of my niche. So baking and food, I'm a foodie, period. So even if I'm not cooking it, I'm going to have some aspect of food involved. Soft life, showing a soft life, that is very important to me because that is the lane I'm in. Gratitude, alignment, all of those things feed me. It makes me who I am. Those are things that shape my life on a day-to-day basis. So of course, those are content pillars that I would include in my niche. So here's the other thing. So is use your interests as connection points. They deepen the trust. They make your audience feel like they really know you, right? And so they pull them in. You're able to really attract the people who you're talking to. They also, when you make those connections, they broaden the commitment, even if they aren't your main niche. So, for example, football is not my main niche, but I would draw in girly girls like myself who can relate to rooting for their team, even if it's not, the Eagles, right? We can relate because we basically speak that language, right? Other bakers who, they dibble and dab in, making cakes, making cookies, making bread. That's not their main thing, but we can relate on the level that it's a stress reliever for me. I love reading recipes, like I talked about with the very best cookies. Like I'm looking at it to see how would I get it close to those cookies that I had in Da Nang? How can I get it close to that? and, reading the fact that, there's not a lot of sugar in it. There's, the espresso powder that you add that's going to enhance the chocolate flavor, all of those things. Your niche attracts, but your personality retains. Remember that. So let's kind of recap that. So number 1 is choose the value niche. Choose the value niche. Number 2, let your passion shape your vibe. And number 3, use your interests as connection points. All right. And again, I will say this again and again and again. Your niche attracts, but your personality retains. All right. So let's move on. From there, I am going to provide you with a few successful multi-passionate creators. So you can have like a lifestyle creator who also does fitness. You can enjoy a lawyer who also does travel content. And I think you know who I'm talking about. You can maybe have a business coach who also posts hair vlogs, right? And actually, I have a friend who is an interior designer who posts about her reties and just how her upkeep of her locks. And it's very interesting content. It's very, I want to watch that. I want to know more about that. None of us are one notes. A fashion creator who also bakes or cooks. A sports girly like me who also talks finance or wellness. It's just a slew of different combinations of what you might find. Most creators aren't famous because they pick one passion, but because they uniquely blend their passions together, right? They intertwine them. So it's not one note. It's not all you're going to get is one thing. You're going to get a variety because that's what makes us human. That's what makes us human. All right, we have an exercise. So I want you to, let me see, what do I want to do? I think what I want to do is I want you to think about your interests. What interests make you you? Even if they're not your niche, what is that interest that makes you you? For example, for me, the interest that makes me me, Deanda, baking. That's an interest for me. Baking is top of the list. Fashion, top of the list. Hair. My top 5 includes baking, hair. I love talking hair, makeup. Maybe I should put hair and beauty in one thing. So I would say baking or cooking, beauty. So that includes hair, marketing and branding. That's 3. 4, football. Yes. And I'll say football. I don't know if that's my top 5 though, but we'll keep it just for tonight's sake anyway. And we'll say 5 would be community, accountability partners. That's in my top 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add a 6, my spiritual stuff. Getting grounded and tapping into my breath and slowing down, and yes, all of that goes in one umbrella, and I keep going on and on and on. But you see where I'm going here, right? And so I want you to think about what interests make you you. What are those things? And if it turns out that your top 5 is actually a top 6, like mine were, put those down on paper, and then we're gonna do a couple of other things tonight to kind of get closer to you figuring out what your niche is. Let's see. What do I want to do now? Give me 2 secs. But I'm enjoying this. I really am. And I'm excited that you all will pull out and be able to find your niche. So I want to encourage you to drop 3 of your passions below in the comment sections, just 3. If you have 6, that's easy to do. You just split it in half. And I'll help you find the overlap. So what I would do is basically what I just did was, so like, I'm a marketer. I also like travel. I also enjoy, so I would say marketing, travel, fashion. That would be 3 things. So how do I try those in? How do I tie those in? So drop your 3 in the comments below and I will address those and see what the overlap is. All right? Promise. I promise I will. Okay. So let's wrap the teaching with a bit of clarity and reassurance, okay? You don't have to choose between passions. I want to make that abundantly clear. You don't have to do that. Your niche can evolve. What you have as your niche today doesn't have to look the same in January, okay? So don't, get too fixated on, I don't know what it is, or it's only these 3, but I have, these 3 others that I'm really, really passionate about as well. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. We're coming back for them. We'll come back for them. Your niche really can evolve. You can pivot in 2026. So, what you're doing, even in January, you might be doing differently in June. Okay. And that is fine. Nothing wrong with that because we're human, right? Being multi-passionate is a strength, not a weakness. And I can't stress that enough. Some of us get so locked in that it needs to be, so rigid and so structured in this one way, and it doesn't. Nothing has to be this one note. We're not one notes. Your brand becomes irresistible when your interests add a unique flavor. And that's on period, right? Once you have, a kind of system of revealing your niche and making sure that it evolves around your now, means that it is infinite and it becomes this thing that makes your brand blossom even more. Your niche is your lighthouse. Your passions are the decorations. Don't you like that? Your niche is the thing people remember you for, right? And your passions are the things people remember you by, okay? So if you remember those things, oh my God, your brand becomes that thing, love. And that thing is going to shine and be uniquely you, with a capital Y. So now let's jump into the daily SweetSpot Sparkle, because that was a lot to digest. Actually, before we do that, I want to tell you about the second cookie recipe that I used. Hold on a second, let me find it. And that one, I love the name, and I think that's what drew me to it. And actually, when I show you a picture of it, I want to say that it drew me to it because of the name as well as the picture, because it looked similar to that cookie that I found in the name. But the name of these cookies is called the chocolate ooey gooey butter cookies. That's what it's called. Now, I kind of should have known, like, based off of the name, that it wouldn't be exactly like those cookies, because they were not gooey. Like I said, they were crispy or whatever, but in a good way. So the thing that I liked about the recipe, though, it called for a half a cup of salted butter and an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. That really intrigued me, because you use cocoa powder, and I actually, because I really like chocolate, I put just a tiny bit of espresso powder in this one. It didn't call for that in the recipe. I added that. So you see what I mean by, if you're skilled in baking, you know when to add something, and you know how to do it in a way that it will enhance the flavor, right? And again, it's a science to it. It's a science. You're playing around with things. But I will tell you this. So it called for granulated sugar, but it also called for confectional sugar or powdered sugar. And it called for, the recipe says 1 cup. Well, you're supposed to put 1 cup in the cookie recipe, and the other half of the powdered sugar, you're supposed to roll the dough in. Well, y'all, I didn't read that part, or I read it and I kept going, right? So I ended up putting all of the powdered sugar in the cookie dough. It didn't taste, overly sweet or anything. I ended up putting, and I'll show the picture in just a second. I ended up just putting, what do you call it? Decorations on it, like sprinkles on top, instead of rolling it into the powdered sugar, because I had already put it inside the cookie. These cookies were so good, and they're soft and moist. All right. So they turned out really great. I was really satisfied with. They're not close to the cookies from Deneen. They're not, but they're still delicious. I'm still on the hunt for that cookie. I may just have to go back to Deneen and get them. I just may have to do that. But I am determined to see if I can bake the cookie. So I'll keep you updated on that. Again, I will link this, the ooey gooey, the chocolate ooey gooey butter cookies in the description. I will link that recipe as well for you to try yourself. And in that one, I will also put a little note that I added espresso powder, like a teaspoon of espresso powder to it to enhance it. Okay, so now let's get into the daily SweetSpot Sparkle for day 8. And what I have as a sparkle today is a mini intention. I would invite you to write down just one thing you want to be known for in 2026, right? That's exciting, right? What is the one thing that at the end of 2026, so 2026, this, next year, this time, what do you want to be known for? What do you want your audience? What do you want your clients? What do you want your employer? What do you want to be known for? What is that thing? If it's, you're an entrepreneur and you have a business and you want to be known for your business, that's what you would say. Put this in the the comments, in the comments, and let us know, what is that one thing you want to be known for? And it could be for your family. It could be for your friends. It could be something really lofty. It could be something very, specific to what you do, to your brand. It could be what you're aspiring to be. And you don't, really know if it's, this one thing, but you want to give it a try. And what that one thing is today, it is okay if that changes tomorrow. Okay. So again, I want to invite you to put that one thing in, jot that down in the comments section, and we will pass that on, because we want to make sure that we keep the spirit of the community, the spirit of the community going. Okay, so put your sparkle in the comments. So I also want to leave you with a bit of a teaser on tomorrow's episode, where I will be revealing the top books that I read in 2025, and some of them I am taking some of the learnings into 2026. So I can't wait to share those things with you. And as I always say, I am so thankful that y'all are hanging out with me, and the cookies and the football. I don't know if we're going to make it. We're going to go into overtime. So fingers crossed. Go Eagles. The branding chat, truly a perfect Monday. It really has been. If you enjoyed the cozy combo, tap like, subscribe, and share this with another multi-passionate friend. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Stay grateful, stay grounded, and stay in your sweet spot. Love y'all.